Happy Coffee Talk Monday with Dr. Michelle. How are you today? Today is the third part in this kind of series that I'm doing. The first part, I talked about being an athlete and how I developed and utilized these mental skills. Last week, I talked about being a coach and how I developed and utilized these mental skills. Today, I'm going to talk about being an executive. Yeah, I have had many lives before this life, and one of them was being an executive. I often say that moving up in business, managing people is generally not something we sort of ask for, but it just sort of happens based on our growth and how we're doing in the organization. And there's levels, right, and steps that most people go through in an organization. And you go from like bottom level and just keep going up. And as you go up, it's really about obviously more productivity, but managing people and more people, right? And that's great. However, the problem is that managing people is very complicated. It's very complex. And oftentimes, we're not ready for that. And we don't know how to do it. I remember when I first started managing people, boy, my boss at the time used to be all over me for how I managed my employees. That's fine. Growth opportunity, learning opportunity. The problem is that we get this feedback, and what do you do with that if someone doesn't tell you what you should be doing different? Yeah, it's a pretty big challenge, I'd say. My last job as an exec, managing people though, was very, very different. Similar to the first two conversations in this series, it was about this time in my career where I was kind of at the tail end of my PhD, and I was continuing to develop and utilize more optimal mental skills. And so again, like my last job as an exec was kind of a petri dish for me to like play around with the different things and figure out what worked and what didn't work. And to really take on more of a conscientious role being a leader. I really wanted to be a leader rather than a boss or a supervisor. Some of the things I feel like really worked well was good communication. I've really worked a lot on my communication skills over the years, obviously, because I'm at where I'm at. So hopefully my communication skills are pretty good. Yeah, for good. As an exec, it's really important to be able to ask good, open-ended questions, to listen, to reflect, and not take things personally, not get defensive. And rather than criticizing someone for not doing something, I really worked on giving really good feedback and being there to support. Many times, I often dug in with my employees, side by side, did what they did, worked with them, for sure collaborated with them. Look, I don't have all the answers. That was a really good place to get to. Because then I could really open up and realize that not only did I not have all the answers, but other people had different ways of doing things and sort of getting to a similar space, which was so important. So communication is critical. I also got to know my employees from a personal perspective. Yeah, I didn't know everything there was to know about them, but I knew a lot. And again, I listened to them. I had one-on-ones with my employees on a consistent basis. I remember when one of my employees came to me and said, "Can my son come here after school and do his homework because I don't have anywhere to put him?" And for a minute, I was like, ooh, in the workplace. I said to her, "Yeah, that's fine. Let's try it and see how it goes. As long as you get your work done." And it worked out completely fine. So flexibility, openness. I was genuine with my staff. I asked them what their goals and expectations were. Wow, I'm talking about so many different things, right? But look, these things are not above and beyond. They're simple, basic things. And I think that that is what really made me the executive I was. My staff appreciated me. I'm still in touch with many of them. And I loved and appreciated them. Productivity went from not very good when I got there to very good when I got there. Oh, I also spent time bringing lunch in, taking my staff out for meetings outside of the office. We did volunteer work together. I mean, you know, the list really could go on. Choose something. Start there. Make a change. Do you want to be known as a boss? Ooh, bossy. I don't like that word. A supervisor? Somewhere who supervises people? I really like the term leader, because really you're just helping to pull people together, to collaborate with them, to help them grow and develop so that one day they can be in your position. Give it some thought. And if you have questions or comments, let me know. This is Dr. Michelle coming at ya. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.